Now we're ready to install the software. So I'm going to simply open up the jewel case, pop out the 360 Realtour software. I'm going to slide that into my CD-ROM drive. When the software begins to auto-run, there's a whole list of different areas that I can preview within the Egg Solution software. You may specifically want to look at the camera settings page, but keep in mind that the software may be more outdated than the actual Egg Solution website. So if you don't see your camera here or your camera settings, make sure you go to the Egg Solution website. We're going to go to the upper left-hand corner to the 360 Realtour installation, and I'm going to click that icon. And then you'll need to read the software license agreement. And when you're completed, you'll click over on I accept the terms in the license agreement. That'll activate the next button. Now click on next. The software is going to ask for your customer information. Now it will default to whatever the Windows default setup for your laptop or your computer is. I'm going to type in my name on this. For username, I'm going to put in my name, Jim Casey, and then I'll put in my company name. So in this case, I'm going to put in ABC Realty. The software is going to recommend a default location, and unless you've got some particular needs or need to move this somewhere, just continue by clicking on Next. And finally, the software is ready to install, and I'll click on the Install button. Finally, the confirmation is it asks us if we'd like to start the program. You may want to take a look at the README file. I'm going to deactivate that for now, and I'm going to simply click on Finish. Now that the software is completely installed, it'll actually start running a virtual tour. This is a demonstration set of photographs of a house in Connecticut that come factory installed in the software, so you can see actually how an album would appear. Finally, before we start using the software, we're going to just make some very quick settings. We're going to go up here to the word Options, click on Options, and go right down to the word Preferences. Click on Preferences, and we're really only going to fill out a brief amount of information. Now notice here it says Company Name. Now what I'm going to suggest is in the Company Name field box, you actually put your name. Because what we want is we want your name predominantly displayed, and then in the address field box, we're going to put your company name below it. So in the company name box, I'm going to type in Jim Casey. I'm going to tap the tab key down, and what I'm going to recommend here is you actually put all of the information that you're currently putting on your business cards. So I'm actually going to put in here my company name, ABC Realty. Be very careful to spell everything and punctuate perfectly, because this will be stamped onto every single virtual tour that you send out as an email, or when we start uploading this to our website, this information needs to be accurate. So I'll put in a street address here, again capitalizing and doing my punctuation correctly. And each time I finish with a line, I'll tap the Enter key, and now I'll put in the city and the zip code. And I'm going to put in my office phone number, so I'm actually going to type in the word office, and then I'm going to type in the area code, put in the hyphen, and make the phone number appear exactly as I want it to appear. I'm going to tap the Enter key, and you can either add your fax number here if you'd like. I'm going to go directly to my email. I'm actually going to type in the word email. And I'll type in my email address as accurately as I can. And finally, at the bottom, we have a place to put in your URL. So for those of you who have a website, I'm going to type in the www.jimcasey.com. Now, as we finish up this website URL field, at the lower left, ignore the small area that says private. Don't activate that. And I'm going to suggest you don't make any changes down in the user settings for the albums folder. We have one other place we need to make some changes. Going back up to the top of the screen, I'd like you to ignore the Favorites tab, and for now, ignore the My Website tab. We're going to go over to Basic Publish. I'll click on that tab. And what I'd like to do is explain what this field means. This particular screen is indicating the amount of time it will take to download an individual virtual tour. and it breaks it into two categories. On the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see it says 56K modem, and below it, it says ADSL. Well, in other words, what this is saying is, depending upon the person who's receiving these emails, how long will it take for them to download each image? That's each individual tour. And we consider an individual tour one photograph of one room. So what I'm going to do is find a compromise here between the highest quality and the highest speed. And what we're going to suggest is that you move this middle radio button by clicking on it and dragging it over to the left. And I'm going to set mine for the 56K modem speed. I'm going to put it at 24 seconds. However, keep in mind on a DSL connection, that means it'll take 3 seconds per image to download these virtual tours. If you find after you're using the software that people are saying the images are a little bit fuzzy or a little bit distorted, you may want to come back to this setting and increase the quality of the image all the time, keeping in mind how much longer it's going to take to download these images. So we're going to save these settings by simply clicking on the OK button at the bottom of this window.